Let's dive into some advanced concepts around Snowflake dynamic tables, including how to handle late data, maintain lineage, and troubleshoot them in real world scenarios. Question 1: how do dynamic tables handle late arriving data in the source? Interviewers assess how dynamic tables handle refresh logic and data timeliness, especially in real world pipelines where data may not always arrive on schedule. So the answer is dynamic tables don't automatically handle late arriving data. They process only what's available at refresh time. However, when delays are predictable, I use the target lag setting to define the maximum acceptable delay between source updates and the dynamic table's content. This ensures the table eventually catches up as new data arrives. For more unpredictable or immediate late data, I trigger manual catch-up refreshes or use configurations that control which rows are recomputed or reprocessed. I also add deduplication or timestamp-based logic to prevent duplicate records when reprocessing overlapping data windows. Question 2: what limitations exist when joining dynamic tables with external tables or shared data? This question tests your awareness of Snowflake's object model and best practices for working around these constraints. The answer goes: when I join dynamic tables with external tables or shared data, there are some important limitations. First, dynamic tables cannot directly reference external tables or shared tables in their defining query. Snowflake simply doesn't allow these objects as sources. If I try to include them in the select statement, the query will fail. Also, dynamic tables themselves can't be shared, and I can't query them through a shared secure view or any shared object that references a dynamic table upstream. Beyond that, there are some related restrictions. For example, non-deterministic functions, dynamic SQL, and secondary roles aren't supported in dynamic table definitions. Because of these limitations, whenever I need to work with external or shared data, I first materialize that data into a regular Snowflake table within the same account. That way, the dynamic table can reference it normally and I still get consistent refreshes and performance. Question 3: how is data lineage maintained for dynamic tables within Snowflake? Snowflake automatically maintains data lineage for dynamic tables through a built-in dependency graph. Each dynamic table stores metadata about its upstream and downstream relationships, so I can easily see where its data comes from and where its output flows next. This lineage is visible directly in Snowsight under Lineage tab, which provides a visual map showing how data moves from base tables through intermediate dynamic tables to final outputs. Question 4: if your dynamic table query includes non-deterministic functions, what happens during refresh? The answer is dynamic tables don't support non-deterministic functions like current timestamp or random because these values change every time the query runs, even if the underlying data hasn't changed. That makes it impossible for Snowflake to determine which rows actually need refreshing. Instead, I use deterministic alternatives, for example, timestamp columns from the source table. These values only change when the data changes. So Snowflake can refresh only the rows that truly changed, keeping the dynamic table accurate and efficient. Question 5: how would you troubleshoot a situation where a dynamic table is stuck in refresh pending state? Interviewers want to know if you understand how the dynamic table refresh lifecycle works and whether you can logically isolate the root cause or not. The answer is, the first thing I do is check dependencies. I review upstream tables to see if any haven't refreshed yet and check downstream dependencies and target lag settings because sometimes the pending state is expected. Next, I inspect the source data, the dynamic tables query, and the warehouse or system status to make sure everything is available, valid, and not blocked. Once I confirm that nothing upstream, downstream, or system related is causing the pending state, I determine if the table is simply waiting or truly stuck. If it's waiting, I may trigger a manual refresh. If it's stuck, I cancel the current refresh and start a new one. If nothing works, recreating the table is a last resort. And if I do that, I back up the current table first so I don't lose any materialized data. Question 6. What governance or monitoring tools can you use to track dynamic table costs and performance? Interviewers want to see if you understand how to monitor dynamic table refresh behavior, manage cost efficiency, and tie that into broader data governance practices. And the answer is, I use Snowflake's query history and resource monitors to monitor compute usage, identify expensive queries, and track warehouse consumption during refreshes. I check account usage views to analyze refresh frequency, duration, and data processed. Also, I create custom dashboards in Snowsight using metadata from account usage to get a visual overview of dynamic table activity, refresh trends, and performance metrics. For broader data governance and lineage, I integrate Snowflake metadata with third-party tools like Collibra or Alation, which allows me to track dependencies and maintain oversight of performance. That wraps up the advanced level interview questions on Snowflake dynamic tables. These are the kind of questions that really test your practical understanding, not just how dynamic tables work, but how you troubleshoot, optimize, and govern them in real-world scenarios.